Today, we're diving into one of the most explosive moments from a recent congressional hearing, featuring none other than Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, a former prosecutor who once again delivered a blistering breakdown of Donald Trump's legal troubles and the GOP's desperate attempts to shield him. But this time, she didn't just challenge them. She dismantled their entire argument piece by piece. Let's break down exactly what happened. As the hearing began, Crockett wasted no time pointing out the obvious. Republicans tried to keep the special counsel out of the public eye. According to her, they wanted him hidden in a room with no cameras, because the moment he spoke openly, their entire narrative fell apart. Why? Because the man sitting before them wasn't a partisan actor. He was a career prosecutor, someone who had spent decades putting criminals behind bars. And Republicans knew he could prove his case against Donald Trump. Instead of debating guilt or innocence, the GOP spent their time arguing something else entirely, whether the special counsel was even allowed to investigate Trump. Crockett highlighted this deflection brilliantly. Hitting the facts 110, she reminded the room that the special counsel had already confirmed his appointment was fully legal, backed by more than 100 years of legal precedent, upheld by direct Supreme Court rulings. But this, Crockett said, was just the beginning. Because when you look at Donald Trump's history, none of his actions on January 6 should surprise anyone. She cited nearly 90 legal allegations from 4 different jurisdictions, topped off by 34 criminal convictions handed down by a jury who saw all the evidence. So the idea that Trump might commit a criminal act on January 6? In her words, why are we pretending that's unbelievable? A pattern of lawlessness, 155. Crockett went further, laying out a list of actions she says demonstrate Trump's disregard for the law: violating due process, ignoring court orders, launching military actions without congressional approval, enriching himself through the presidency, allegedly over $1.4 billion, pressuring elected officials to rig congressional maps, shaking down TV stations for money. She essentially painted a picture of a man who has long acted above the law, and whose decision to run for president again was strategic, not patriotic. According to the special counsel's own report, Crockett emphasized, the only thing preventing Trump from being prosecuted right now is the constitutional barrier protecting a sitting president. Their report stated clearly, if Trump hadn't been elected again, the evidence against him would be enough to obtain and sustain a conviction at trial. The GOP's fear the truth, 245. Crockett then turned her attention to Republicans on the committee, including Chairman Jim Jordan. She noted that Republicans had spent the entire day attacking the special counsel, minimizing January 6, and pretending this was all political theater. But she reminded everyone of a detail they conveniently left out. On the day of the attack, Jim Jordan himself was terrified, running to the Capitol fearing what the mob might do. A detail confirmed, Crockett noted, by Trump's own chief of staff, Mark Meadows. And that wasn't all. Jordan had also been in direct communication with the White House before and during January 6th, which is why his phone records were subpoenaed, not because he was a Republican, but because the calls were relevant to the investigation. The truth about the election, 340, then came one of the simplest, but most powerful parts of Crockett's statement. She asked the special counsel directly, Donald Trump lost to Joe Biden, yes or no? The answer, yes. She followed with the facts. 60 federal and state courts rejected Trump's fraud claims. Trump's own attorney general confirmed he lost. His own vice president refused to break the law for him. Yet Trump still pressured state officials, devised fake electors, and whipped up a crowd to fight like hell. And according to the report, Trump knew exactly what would happen. Even his advisors were pushing for violence, including John Eastman, who reportedly claimed that violence was necessary. Crockett concluded by reminding everyone that while Trump bears responsibility, 147 Republican lawmakers also voted to overturn the election, including members of the very committee questioning the special counsel. Outro 455. Jasmine Crockett didn't just call out hypocrisy. She laid out the legal facts, the historical record, and the ongoing threat to American democracy. And whether you agree with her or not, her message was clear. The truth isn't partisan. It's documented. And it's time to stop pretending otherwise.